Welcome to A Matter of Mindset. I'm your gracious host, is Joey Jones. This is episode 7. Episodes are coming through thick and fast. I've got a special guest with me, my good friend Shamari. Shamari, how you doing, sir?
Very well, sir. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Lovely. Que lo que?
We're going to get into the languages thing. We're going to get into that. But I need to ask you a question. What's your mindset currently?
What's my mindset currently? What do you mean by that question?
As in, what's your general thought process towards life now?
You know, for me, that question is a little vague, but I'll try and match it with a well-rounded answer. Right now, brother, I'm all about raising my vibration, bro. And by that, what I mean is that as of lately, bro, within the last few years, my biggest realization in life is that I know nothing. That's the one thing I do know for certain, is that I know nothing. And I'm not even trying to sound cool when I say that. It's big facts. And it's only when you admit to yourself that you know nothing that you can open yourself up to actually receive, you know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about education or information or doctrine. I'm talking about true wisdom, bro. That's going to serve you on a practical level. So I hope that answers your question, bro. So I'll just round off and say that again. Where I'm at in my mindset right now is that my number one realization in life is that I know nothing.
I agree. I understand where you're coming from, because when you're at a certain age, especially when you're young, like, we like to think that we have all the answers.
There we go.
Then when you mature and you get to when you're going through your maturity, you're actually realizing, like, yo, I actually have a lot to learn. And a lot of people they come to that realization proper late. And it's just constantly learning, constantly staying a student is where I'm at as well. Like, I always feel like I'm ready to learn and to apply myself. And yeah, that's just where I'm at now anyway.
You know, you say like a lot of people come to that realization late, true. But then also some people just don't come to that realization at all.
That is facts.
You know, for me personally, like when I was younger, I mean, I'm still young, so I'll say when I was younger, not young. When I was younger, you know what, in life, sometimes you have to admit some hard truths to yourself. And for me, like, I looked in the mirror and I realized, like, you know what, I realized that I reveled in my own intelligence, quote unquote, intelligence way too much. And it almost became like an identity. It was an ego thing. I thought I was so smart and I loved having an answer for everything. I loved feeling like I was so knowledgeable in so many topics. And it's something I took great pride in my quote unquote intelligence. And then, like I said, man, that certain things in life happened, certain paths that I went down. And then I started realizing that, you know what, I had started questioning a lot of things that were taught to me from a child. Yeah. And I also had to question certain belief systems that I had. Certain ones that were given to me, certain ones that I held, and I'll ask myself, do I really believe this? Why do I believe this? And it's been a long journey, and yeah, I came to the conclusion that I know nothing. And it's only like the more I'm truly beginning to learn, really learn about myself, learn about life, learn about my spirituality, opening up and learning to listen more, listening to other people. One thing I really enjoy doing is just listening, bro.
Absolutely.
Listening to other people's stories, listening to other people's experiences. And it's through experiences that you can gain a lot of wisdom and truth, you know what I mean? Because I find a lot of people, I'm guilty of this as well, a lot of people, like, when you really listen, you start to see that a lot of people talk, but they're talking in more like a matter of doctrine. It's doctrine, it's not experiential. Like, people talk and it's like regurgitating information, or they're saying things. And like, when you really question people and you ask, okay, why do you believe that? Sometimes people get really defensive. Like, sorry to sway off topic, but for example, like, my mother's a real strong, devout Christian. Okay. And I believe in the Most High. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, I believe in the Most High. Yes. But when I talk to her and I try and reason with her, and I talk to her about certain aspects of life, spirituality, faith, and the Bible, I find her, as well as many other quote unquote Christians that I meet, they can get rather defensive when you try and have a conversation with them. Yes. So for me, it's like, what is your real motive here? Like, are you really seeking truth, or are you just trying to show off, or are you just so attached to an identity? And I find that so many people in quote unquote the world of religion are attached to an identity. And for me, I don't subscribe to a religion, brother. I don't actually call myself Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, nothing like that. I'm just a man of truth. I just want to seek truth, you understand?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And it's funny you say that, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. I feel like a lot of people, like, they embrace religion as a source of comfort, not that they want to actually delve in and find the truth within religion. And I think part of growing as a person, you have to embrace the truth. So when you were saying previously that how I had to embrace some harsh truths about myself, I understand with you 100% where you're coming from, because I had to go through that same thing. I'm like, I have to be, like, for me to progress as a person, I have to be real with where I'm at, where I want to be, and stuff like that. So it's just coming to that understanding that for me to move forward, I have to embrace the truth. And yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that.
I mean, like, when people go to buy a house and whatnot, that's what's the first thing you do? You have to get an appraisal, innit? You have to get a proper appraisal on the house. Or your body is your temple, you understand? You have to do a proper appraisal on yourself. Absolutely. You need to be real. Like, do you have mold? I'm talking in, like, just metaphorical terms of, like, a house.
I know.
You get me? Like, is the skirting board need fixing? Does it need painting? Like, you need to understand that your body is literally like a house or a car that you can fix up and tune up yourself. Whether mentally, physically, spiritually, you can actually tune yourself up. And it's so sad that some people will never experience the optimal level of what your body, what your temple can do. Like, it's so sad. I believe, especially, well, everybody, but I'm going to speak specifically for men, because I'm a man, so I'm talking from a male's perspective, but everybody in general, women included. But I believe that everyone and every man should experience their temple at the most optimal level. I mean, even physically, like, I'm really into martial arts, bro. You know this.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, it's not just physical, but mental and spiritual. Everyone should really, most people never get to see their potential, and you limit yourself. And sometimes I'm telling you, when you think you're done and you can't do more, bro, you can go so much more. You don't know, like, when I say you can go so much more, it's not even a joke. Like, it's actually unfathomable. It's actually unfathomable. When you think you're tired, no, bro, you're slightly just being lazy, bro. Yeah. Just go and do it. Like, for example, like, I'm going to use the gym thing, for example. Like, certain times where I've been going ham and I might feel like I'm kind of tired and I'll need a break. In those instances, when I generally feel like, I really need a break, nah, bro, go to the gym anyway, and then see how you feel tomorrow. And then that will tell you, did I really need a break, or was I just kind of being kind of lazy? And 9 times out of 10, I could actually push it a little more still.
Yeah, that's one message that I'm trying to promote with this podcast. The mind is so powerful, bro. More times when you think that you're gonna quitting is a state of mind. You persevering is a state of mind also. So when you feel like when you feel like you want to quit, your mind will quit before your body quits. You get what I'm saying? And I was having this conversation with Courtney Black on one of my previous episodes, where I was saying that how going to the gym is more of a mental task than a physical task. And he disagreed. And you were just touching on the mental aspect of quitting and persevering, which is a mental aspect. So now that training the mind to be stronger than the body is super important.
Well, you said that it's the mental aspect of going to gym is more important than the physical. Why do you say it's more important?
Because more obviously, when you go to the gym, you improve yourself physically. But most of, like, there's a lot of mental hurdles that you have to overcome. Like when you're pushing the weight and you feel like you can't do more, someone will be like, "You've got one more, just force it." And that's a mental thing. It has physical benefits, but initially it starts with the mind, and that's the main sort of message that I'm trying to get through with this podcast, that how everything starts with your mindset. Everything.
I heard that. Thank you for clarifying. And you know what as well, man, just to delve in deeper into that, people need to understand that when it comes to the mental aspect of things, so many people focus too much on motivation and inspiration, But the truth is, what's more important is habits. You are the sum of your habits. Look at your life right now, and I don't mean just you, Joe. Everybody, look at your life right now, whether you're happy with it or not. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. Just look at your state of your life right now. You are where you at right now because of all of your decisions you made in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You are the sum of your habits. Habits is everything. So you can have a habit of laziness. You can have a habit of excellence. You understand? It's not about motivation. Motivation is just an emotion. It comes and goes. Yeah, you need it, but you can't rely on that. It's a habit. You understand? And that's something you have to force. And like, that takes discipline, bro. Discipline is everything, bro. It's everything. Like, habits is everything. It's all about habits. You are the sum of your habits. You have to cultivate habits of success. Even down to what you do in the morning. It's so key. Like, bro, get up in the morning. Do you have a certain ritual that you follow? No, I'm gonna actually ask you this. Do you have a certain ritual that you follow in the morning?
Yeah.
Sick.
I have to do gratitude affirmations every morning. I've done it every morning for the past week. I've done gratitude affirmations, and it makes a world of difference, bro. Because again, you were talking about just now. You said look at your life and see where you are, whether you're happy with it or not. And it's not about being happy or not being happy with it. It's just you have to be grateful that you have an opportunity to change where you are. And even where you are is I'm not gonna say better, but in perspective to the way other people are living is better. So you have to be grateful, and the way in which you attract more is by being grateful for what you already have. 100.
I can't agree more. But the thing is, man, like, this is where the ego comes into play. When you say that there's somebody else always worse than you, the truth is when people are in situations, they can't even see beyond themselves. Like, so many people are the center of their own universe. And the truth is, you're just a minute speck in the bigger picture, like in the whole universe. Like, you are just a minute speck, but for most people, you are the center of your universe. And I find it's only, and this is what I'm saying, to go back to when I originally said, the more I start to elevate my consciousness, the more I realize that I know nothing. Like, I was so the center of my own universe. Bro, there's so much out there that's bigger than me. Like, and we all share this planet together. And one thing I want to say to people is just, everyone says this, we grew up hearing this when we say treat people how you want to be treated, but no, it's actually true. Like, seriously, treat people how you want to be treated. It's all energy that you put out into the world. Like, really cultivate a habit of just being a cool person. Be a cool person. Like, and imagine if everybody thought this way. Literally, bro, look at the world we're in today, fam. Look at the world we're in today. Look at the world we're living in, where we have some of the highest rates of suicide we've ever had, some of the highest rates of mental health issues that we've ever had. Brother, honestly, brother, imagine if the whole world thought with a mindset of literally treat people how you want to be treated, and just so much of it is so simple, brother. It's actually simple. We overcomplicate things. And the thing is, things aren't that complicated. It's actually simple. But simple doesn't always equate to easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. But it's actually simple. It's very simple. Cultivate a good habit. Exercise. Work your body. It's very important. Don't slack on that. Exercise your body. Eat healthy. Like, if I was to ask anybody, whether you're healthy, not healthy, whatever, if I ask anyone on the street, okay, if you had to give advice to someone how to better themselves as a person, what would you do? Everyone knows the answer. Okay, work out, have some sort of routine where you train in a little bit, eat healthy. Like, everyone knows the answer, but not everybody does it. You get me? It's simple, fam. Why are we live in a culture where we all have everything has to be complicated? Even down to relationships. People say relationships are hard. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Elaborate on that.
They're not. Okay, I used to feel like that, but I don't believe relationships are meant to be hard right now, because right now for me, I'm single, and I've been that way for a few years, like, by choice, because I realized to myself, like, relationships don't have to be hard like that. Like, if you're in my life and you're not bringing anything to the table and you're just bringing nothing but stress and drama, where I am in life right now, I don't have a need, but I will leave. And a lot of people don't leave because not only are they scared, but codependency, fam. They're lacking something within themselves. They're filling a void within themselves with this other person.
I hear that.
You have to fall in love with yourself, brother. Learn to love yourself. And the only way you can attract what's meant for you is by letting go, bro. Relationships don't have to be hard, fam. You can attract what's right for you, but only by letting go. So many people are lonely in this world, fam. It's natural to want love. It's natural to want companionship, you understand? But the thing is, the more you feel like I want something, whether love, companionship, whatever, success in my business, whatever, the more you feel like you want, you're putting out vibrations of lack. That's what you need to understand. When the more you feel like I want this, you're telling the universe that you're lacking something. You understand? You need to be as if, not act as if. Be as if. You understand? So, bro, what I've realized recently is that I feel like with the things I want to achieve in my life, I'm like, okay, I imagine the highest version of myself. What does that look like? Just be it. Be it. For example, like I love learning languages. I imagine myself as a world traveler, someone who travels the world and learns languages. I just be that. So every day, bro, every day for the last 2 years, I have studied languages every single day for the last 2 years. Just be that. Even if I can't be that to the extent I want, where I can just get up and go, whatever, it's coming, bro. I still just be it every day. It's a process. You get me? So I slightly went off on a tangent there, but to quickly just finish and just wrap up what I was saying about the relationship thing is learn to fall in love with yourself. And once you fall in love with yourself, you'll be surprised at what you can attract in your life. Absolutely. That's why I said relationships can be easy, because most people haven't learned to love themselves. So they're filling themselves up. They're in a place of lack, and they're trying to fill it with so many external sources. Learn to love yourself first, and you'll see how easy your life can be.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. And you were even saying something about detachment. One of the spiritual laws. There's a book called 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. I think it's by Chapora or something like that.
Okay.
One of the 7 spiritual laws is to practice detachment. So it's like if you have a sort of goal that you want to achieve, if you obsess over it, and as you said, you put out vibrations of lack, you won't achieve it. And if you detach yourself from the goal but still have energy towards the goal, that's how you achieve it. And it's funny you said that, because that happened in your life recently. So talk about that.
I know what you're getting at, the Jiu-Jitsu thing.
Talk about that.
For people who don't know me, people who know me already know this. I do martial arts. I love martial arts. Specifically, one thing I do is Jiu-Jitsu. I do Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. My background is in boxing. I boxed for like 6 years. I started boxing late at age 19 in university. Done that for a couple of years, had a few fights. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my plan to go pro. I got a few injuries and I couldn't really pass the medicals anymore. So from those injuries, that led me to Jiu-Jitsu. And I just fell in love with it. So I've been practicing Jiu-Jitsu for almost 3 years. It's coming up to 3 years. Let's just say 3 years. Just round it off, 3 years. So speaking of attachment and letting go. So about 3 weeks to a month ago, about 3 weeks ago, I felt like I was doing my thing. I'm killing it in the gym. I'm smashing guys, you know what I mean? I'm smashing up blue belts. I'm smashing up white belts. Was a white belt. I'm smashing up guys in the gym. So I knew that grading day was coming up soon. Like our instructor, our master, he was grading people and he was promoting people, white belt to blue belt, blue to purple, purple to brown, etc. And I convinced myself, and I just felt like it was my time. Like in my head, I just convinced myself it was my time to get promoted. And I obsessed over it so much. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting my blue belt. I'm getting my blue belt. Yeah. And I romanticized it in my head, like, I can't wait to get my blue belt. And funny enough, grading day fell on my birthday as well. So it was my birthday. So I fully romanticized it. I was like, imagine I'm getting my blue belt on my birthday. It's going to be so sick. Like completely obsessing over it. The day came, finished session. I'm going extra ham, trying to smash up man them, like, just to show, like, yeah, I got this. We line up. I'm at the front of the queue with my chest out, like, looking like I'm the man, like, yeah, come give me my thing. So my guy's just calling off names, like, yeah, we're grading, a couple guys been working hard, it's time to, promote them. He was just reeling off names. He's not calling my name. I'm like, all right, cool, saving the best till last, say no more. He's like, we got one more name to call. Called the name. It wasn't my name. Brother, my heart sank into my chest. I'm not even gonna lie. My heart sank into my chest, bro. And like, I had obsessed over this so much that I put the concept of me getting my blue belt on such a high pedestal. I put it on such a pedestal that when I didn't get it, I was crushed. It meant that much to me. Like, it literally just meant that much to me. Like, I love Jiu-Jitsu, but it meant that much to me. One, maybe as a show of recognition to myself for my hard achievement, getting the recognition from other people in the gym of my hard work also. And it was an attachment. I was attached to an outcome. And I won't lie, I was bummed, bro. Bummed. Still congratulated my boys that got their thing, you know what I mean? You can't be not a no hater vibe, but bummed for myself. Happy for the man them, bummed for myself. Didn't even go out and celebrate my birthday. I just weren't feeling it. That same day I came to your house, bro, and you saw I was bummed, bro. But you know what's mad? I let myself feel what I was feeling, and I do think that's important, is to let yourself feel what you feel and be truthful to yourself. You understand? It's important to let yourself feel what you feel. Don't shy away from your feelings. You have to feel what you feel and then question, why do I feel this way? Right? Really have a conversation with yourself and be real with yourself. So I spoke to you and I spoke to my boy. His name is Shogun. Shout out to Shogun. He's a blue belt in my gym. Now, Shogun told me, brother, let it go and just focus on being better every single day. He's like, my bro, your skill level might already be at blue belt level. So he's like, bro, what are you stressing for? You've already got it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's already there for you. Don't even worry about it. He's like, the moment you start worrying about it, it will come. But you're stressing, bro. And it's true. Attachments cause suffering. I just want to put that out there and just let that sink in, please, everybody. Attachments cause suffering. When you attach to an outcome and you put it on a pedestal, and if the universe doesn't grant you that, what's going to happen? You're going to feel bummed. You're going to feel crushed, as I did. That's what happens when you're attached to an outcome. So what happened is I got over it. Like, I felt bummed for 2 days. I got over it. And I just decided, you know what? Bun it. Let's get back in the gym. Just back to training, it, back to work. And then obviously, I believe that, you know what? Sometimes you feel like you're vibrating higher, or you say that you're on another level, but then the universe is going to come and test you. The Most High will test you. Are you really about this life? The same thing he did to Job in the Bible. You understand? You get me? Like, the devil came into God and was like, oh, what, you think Job really loves you, and that he only loves you because you give him all of this stuff? So then God took away all his riches and tested him. But you know what Job did? Job still stayed faithful. He still praised God, regardless of what was happening to him. God cursed him. He got, boils on his skin, and he was crying out, God, why me? Why are you doing this to me? So you could be feeling like that, like, why me, when you're not achieving the things you want to achieve. But because Job still praised God and still remained faithful, God blessed him more so. Yeah. He gave him back everything he lost plus more. So that's also to wrap up this story now. When I got into that feeling, I felt like God was testing me, because coach was promoting people throughout the weeks afterwards, and I still wasn't getting promoted. And over time I realized, you know what, whatever. When he said it was grading day coming up, I didn't even think, it could be my time, could not, didn't care. I literally was doing my thing, didn't care, just got back to enjoying training. You have to enjoy it. And you know what, bro? Today, literally, as we're doing this podcast, today, this very day, I went to training, my bro. And out of the blue, my man's like, Shamari. Went into his gi, took out his blue belt, and it was my time, bro. The moment I let go, stop caring, don't even think about it, just enjoying the journey, it came to me, bro.
It's even funny you said that, because I was literally on the train on the way here, and I was literally on Instagram on my phone. I'm like, Raj, Shamari got his blue belt. I was like, mad. Today's podcast is gonna be crazy. I knew how much it meant to you, and I could only imagine how happy you were still. But yeah, and being able to let go and be able to detach from what you want is very important spiritually, because spirituality is all about balance. And if there's no balance, you can't attract what you want. If something's off center, people can pick that up. So
You know, when you said balance, bro, your rap balance is everything. So on the one hand, I'm talking about letting go of attachments. But then on the other side, now that I got it, bro, I'm gassed in it. Like, I'm not going to lie, I'm happy. And that's okay. You're allowed to clap for yourself. You're allowed to pat yourself on the back and say, well done. Like, feel good in your achievements, bro. I feel good. Like, I'm gassed. I'm happy. I'm not even going to lie. I'm mad ecstatic. But you know what? You know what's going to happen the next day? Back to training, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. You get me?
Yeah,
Nothing changes. So, bro, learn to let go of attachment. When you put things on a pedestal, you actually create a barrier for yourself. When you learn to let go and it's already yours. The way my mindset was, it's already mine. I already got that. So it will come when it comes. Like, to be honest, even beyond that, I'm already a black belt.
Yeah.
I already got it.
What you are to be, you are now becoming. Just
be that. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm already a black belt. That's the highest achievement, to get a black belt. Well, what's a black? If I was a black belt, what would I be doing if I was really a black belt? What's the highest version of myself as a black belt in jiu-jitsu? I'm just going to be in the gym every day, still training, living it. So just do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get me? Absolutely. Word, brother.
Nice. It's good, man. Nah, I was proper happy for you today.
Love, bro.
No lie, bro. Proper happy for you, bro. I was literally like, rah. Shamori got his blue belt just like that. It's mad because we were literally having a conversation. When we were talking, we were literally just like, I said, yo, chat to your master, and obviously you're gonna have to get over this and just detach yourself from how you're feeling. Like, get out of your ego, because when you're upset, you are in your ego, innit? And it's like, when you're able to let go of your ego, that's how you can actually move forward. Like, a lot of people make decisions just to lift their ego, innit? And I said, yo, I know how much this means to you. If you want to do this thing properly, you have to get out of your ego, out of your feelings, and be like, all right, cool, what can I do to improve? And it's like, your coach is gonna, your master, your coach is gonna see this energy, like, this guy really wants to improve. Saying that in grading day, he doesn't know that I'm watching him, but I'm watching him. You know, like that.
Word.
So I'm just like, yeah. Then then it came today, and it's just like, oh, Shamari got his blue belt. I'm like, I was mad surprised, but I wasn't surprised because we had the conversation in it. So nah, it's important that you're able to let go from stuff.
I want to ask your opinion on something.
Go on.
When you're talking about the ego and letting go of the ego, this comes back to what we was talking about, balance. And in my life, bro, I believe balance is everything. You remember when, all right, so guys who don't know, me and Joe went school together, like from year 7 all the way through 6th form. And when we was in 6th form, we was in the same classics class. Remember classics?
Yeah.
And what was that teacher's name?
Mr. Dykes.
Mr. Dykes.
Shout out Mr. Dykes, though.
Hey, bro, even though that was a joke, man, lesson, yeah, there was one thing from classics, bro, I'll always remember, bro, the Greek word, sophrosyne. You know, bro, not everything in moderation, bro. Everything in moderation. It's funny how, like, these things, these throwaway things in school, like, whatever, but yo, these are slightly little gems, you know, slightly little gems, everything in moderation. So my question I wanted to ask you is, like, I personally believe that you actually still do need ego. Like, ego can be a positive thing, but it can also be a negative thing. It's like everything in life. Anything to excess is dangerous. Drinking's not bad. Drinking is fun. Drinking to excess will fuck you up.
I agree.
I wouldn't say gambling is bad. Gambling can be fun for certain people. I don't gamble, but for some people it can be fun. Gambling in excess is bad. Same with sex, anything.
Yeah.
You get me? So my question is, where do you feel like, how can one cultivate the right balance regarding the ego? And the reason why I say ego is good, because ego is what drives you to be better. Like, for example, with the jiu-jitsu thing, letting go of the attachment of getting my blue belt, but at the same time, it took a healthy level of ego to want to improve. It is ego that makes you want to improve, but it's a good thing. So my question is, how would you go about cultivating a healthy level of balance regarding your ego, in terms of using ego in a positive way, but not letting it get out of hand to the point where you actually have to let go of it? Like, how do you cultivate that balance?
I think there has to be a level of humility, because with your ego is just an exaggerated sense of who you are. So when you humble yourself, that's how you suppress that. But your sense of who, your ego is like almost your identity and who you are, which is good to have that. But again, balance it. Again, you said that how previously that how what was it? You said that how I realized that I know nothing. that's the humility, because you've understood that you know nothing. That's why you humble yourself, innit? And that's how it has to be with the ego. You can't exaggerate yourself you can't exaggerate your sense of being if you want to like learn and achieve and do stuff. So if someone, if for example, like you're working in a job or whatever, your manager doesn't like the standard of which your work is, you could be in your feelings and get upset and be like, oh, I do this, I do that. Then you can humble yourself and be like, okay, how can I improve in what I'm doing? You see how one is an egotistical approach, defensive, emotional, egotistical, and the one is humble, down to earth, pragmatic. That's how you find the balance. Just see, you know what it is, yeah. It's so hard because when you live in your ego, you can't see things outside of yourself. If you can see things outside of yourself from another person's point of view, that's how you'll be able to be better moving forward. Because I can feel like I'm working hard. Someone can look at me and be like, this guy's lazy. This guy can work way harder than that. And if I'm in my ego, I'm going to be like, how can this guy tell me that I'm not working hard? You get what I'm saying? So, humble. You just got to humble yourself.
More be humble. And you know, when you say though, I just want to quickly, it's funny because listening to you talk, this is what I'm saying, go back to guys, listen, man. When you listen, it takes you places. You mentioned like working hard, and we throw this word out all the time, or this phrase, work hard, work hard. Working hard is not actually everything, you know. It's not actually everything. And some people will be like, what are you talking about? But the truth is, it's actually not. Because if working hard was everything, then yo, them uncles and working in the toilets in the club would be millionaires, you get me, fam? Because they're putting in mad shifts, mad hours. Working hard is not everything. Like, sometimes you just got to work smart, you get me? Like, you can, and that comes back to dropping your ego. Because even in the gym, you can have certain man look at other man and be like, rah, I put in more work than him, da-da-da. Why am I not a certain level or a certain place? You can't even look at things like that. Hard work is overrated. Like, well, I'm not going to say it's overrated, but it's not the end all and be all, man. It's not just about hard work. It's about working smart, bro. It's about working smart. Like, for example, like, I'm a human being, you get me? I'm not a machine. The body needs rest. And I bang in hours of work physically in terms of training, bro. Whether it's Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, wrestling, boxing, strength training. I'll run through thousands of push-ups a week. Thousands, bro. Literally. I'm not gassing, bro. Hundreds a day, bro, racking up numbers weekly, you get me? But the body needs rest, innit? You get me? So I have to work smart. I got so many interests. I can't do every aspect of martial arts every day. I can't box, do Muay Thai, do wrestling. I can't do all these things daily. So I have to schedule things. I portion things out. It's about working smarter, you get me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro. So don't get gassed off the hard work thing, man. Work smart, work smarter.
I wholeheartedly.
And write your goals down. Write things down. Don't just be in your head and airy fairy that leads to nowhere. Write things down. There is a power to putting pen to paper. You know when Shakespeare said the pen is mightier than the sword? It's not a joke. There is a real power in putting pen to paper. You give yourself a literal map. Now let me say something, because this is important. My boy put me on game with this the other day. There are different timelines. Have you ever do you remember that movie, that Jet Li movie, The One?
I'm not a film star, but yeah.
But if anyone's, you've seen it, Siraj, you get me? Jet Li, The One. So Jet Li, so they say there's a multiverse, and there's different versions of him in the multiverse, and then one guy is trying to go to the different multiverses, the different universes, and kill off every version of himself so he can be the strongest one and have the powers. So getting to the point, even in your life, in everybody's life, there are different timelines, and what timeline you're going to be on in your life is based on the decisions you make. Like, I could be at a certain place in life without when I'm feeling bummy, which I did this year. There was a time when I was feeling bummy, bro, and slightly borderline depressed, fam, you get me? And there's certain shifts in decisions, and those shifts in decisions resulted in shifts in my habits, and that literally shifted me on a different timeline, because I could have been here doing this. And I think everyone can look at their life and be like, rah, I could have been there, or I could have been there, but you ended up over here. So it's literally, you have different timelines. So for me, like, you look at yourself, if you dream of like the best version of yourself, like if you're not fit and you want to be fit, you're all of them. You're the overweight guy and you're the super ripped fit guy. You're all of them. It just depends on what timeline you're on. But that timeline you're on is based on your decisions. You are actually all of them. You understand?
Yeah. We are the sum of our decisions, innit?
Word, brother. Word. So you can actually change your timelines based on changing your decisions. And through changing your decisions, you change your habits. So yeah, brother.
What's the name of that film?
Jet Li the One.
I'm gonna watch that.
It came out in like 2001.
I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, bro. We're all on different timelines, bro. It's up to you, man, where you go, where you end up. Because remember, like we said before, where you are now is the sum of the decisions you made previously in your life. So change your timeline.
Absolutely. And you know what? I had that bummy period. I'll say it was like last year or 2 years ago.
Okay.
But then I said to myself, I said, what's the best, what do I want to be doing in terms of just what I want to be doing? I said, you know what? I just be having sick conversations with people just in general. And I said, all right, cool. I'm going to start a podcast. And I said, I'm like, what do I want my podcast to be about? And I said, I wanted to create a podcast that's unique to me, but can help people. You know what I'm saying? And in turn, everyone's learning from it. You know what I'm saying? So I said, all right, cool. A matter of mindset. I thought of the idea, whatever. Lockdown came, so I couldn't really like apply my vision how I wanted to. Then when the lockdown restrictions eased, I started filming and whatever. I started filming episodes and all that. And yeah, now we're 7 episodes deep. You get me? You can't just, you know what? You can't just be in your fields all the time. And if you have a vision for yourself, you can't be scared to apply it. You cannot be scared to apply it at all. Like right now, I can't lie, my confidence is at a level that I won't say I wouldn't have imagined it, but it's at a whole new level now because I've aligned myself with my purpose. And when you align yourself with your purpose, your confidence grows. You get what I'm saying?
You know what's it? Joe, when you said like, I'm going to expand on something a little bit. When you said you can't be scared to do it, you're right. But the truth is like, it's okay to be scared. I'm going to say, I think it's okay to be scared, but do it anyway. Yeah. Because that's the only difference between the hero and the coward. The hero, it's not that the hero doesn't feel fear. The hero feels fear, but he gets it done anyway. Like I remember when I was boxing and Mike Tyson said this, and like, if you ever gone into some sort of competition, like, bro, I feel fear every time I go into a fight. I won't cap. I'm scared, bro. You get me? I'm scared of embarrassment. I'm scared of getting beaten up. But you know what? Man, goes do it anyway and then come out victorious. So, bro, like, feel what you feel. This is why I came, like, let yourself feel what you feel, but do it anyway. Do it anyway. And, guys, Joe gave you a mad gem. Like, I don't know if you caught that. I'm gonna say it. He dropped a mad gem. Like, he said when he was feeling depressed or our bummy period, he asked himself, what do you want to do? And that question right there is one of the keys to life, because I hear a lot of people say, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. Happiness is not the goal. Happiness is an outcome. Happiness is just an emotion. It comes and goes. Like motivation, like inspiration, it comes and goes. So therefore, because it comes and goes, it's a fleeting thing. Yeah. It's like chasing happiness is like chasing the wind, bro. How are you going to catch that? It comes and goes. So happiness is not the key. The key to life is purpose, like you said. When you ask yourself, what is it I want to do? Especially as men, you need to be on your purpose. Absolutely. You need purpose. Chasing happiness is not the answer. You know why? Because some people are happy in their own destruction, bro. Some people are happy being alcoholics. They find happiness in a bottle. They find some temporary happiness in that. You understand? So you can find happiness in your own destruction. So that tells you that, bro, happiness is not a worthwhile goal. Chase excellence. Chase excellence, man.
I agree wholeheartedly. I wholeheartedly agree. And yeah, man, it's just, you know what it is of happiness as well, yeah? It's like you'd be like, oh, I'm happy when I do this. I'll be happy when I do this, or I'll be happy when I achieve this, or I'm happy when I get this. Then you get it, and it's like your goals have to be bigger than just like your happiness can't be defined by your goals. Like you have to be happy just as a state of being. You can't be like, oh, when I achieve this, I'll be happy, or when I do this, I'll be happy. Happy kind of has to be like what you are and understand that it's not a permanent emotion. Like, things are going to happen in your life and no one's going to expect you to be happy, but the ups and downs of emotions is a part of life. So when you're chasing, when people say, I want to be happy, people talk about happy like it's a permanent state of being, and it's not. Because I'm not happy all the time.
Word.
I'm not sad all the time.
Word.
You get what I'm saying? So just when you have a goal, like, you have to know what it is within you, innit? Like, someone can say like, oh, you'll be happy when you get this, then you'll get it and you won't be happy. So you have to just look inside for the answers. The answers are not going to come from outside. The answers are going to come from within you. You get what I'm saying?
And that comes back to the main point of being on your purpose. You have to have purpose. Have to have a purpose. Look at your life. Sit down and again, put pen to paper and ask yourself this question, like, what would my best self look like? What would he do? What does he look like? What does he sound like? What does he speak like? What is he doing? You understand? Ask yourself these questions. Write it down. Jot it down. Just get free with it. Enjoy it, man. Start writing these things down. Give yourself a roadmap to where you want to go in your life. What would the best version of yourself be doing? I like to ask myself this question, and I ask my boys this question. Because a lot of us like just chase money for necessities. I said, if money wasn't an issue, if you never had to worry about money ever again, what would you do? What would your day look like? And when I answered that question to myself, I realized what I needed to be doing. You get me? It gave me some sort of sense of purpose. Yeah. Purpose is everything, brother. And as men, you need to be on purpose. You have to pick something and you have to make sacrifices, bro. Sacrifices are key because at the end of the day, like you said, I don't always feel happy all the time. I don't always feel sad at the time. Today, I'm extremely happy, bro. I got my blue belt. But you know what? Happiness was the outcome. Happiness was a byproduct. It was a byproduct. It was a byproduct of being on my purpose, of training every day, trying to improve, being the best martial artist I can be. So how would you recommend, that's my recommendation of how you can find your purpose, because some people could be like, all right, cool, so like, how do I find my purpose? And this is where you have to start having real conversations with yourself and asking yourself real questions. And I feel like the better your life will be by the better quality of questions you ask yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. You have to, for me, I don't know how everyone else done it or anyone else does it. I had to just look within myself. I said, okay, cool. I'm a very introspective person. I'm very analytical. And even from young, I've always sort of brought people together. So just a little background, like in year 7 now, obviously we're in school doing whatever. Then one day I'm just like, obviously I'm at home now. Can't play PlayStation during the week.
Yeah, I remember that. Mumsy, no PlayStation during the week, bro.
PlayStation during the week. I said, all right, cool. Let's do a pro tournament. So I've bought in my PS2.
Oh yeah,
I've bought in my pro
yeah.
tournament. I've bought in my Pro 5. I think it was Pro 5 at the time. Pro 5 or Pro 6.
Was it Pro 5?
Yeah, it was Pro 5.
Where Adriano was just that overpowered player, bro.
So I've bought in my PS2. I've bought in my Pro 5.
Yeah.
And my class have had a pro tournament. I don't even remember who won, but it was a sick tournament. And I'm just like, all right, cool. If I can bring people together like that, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And like, even recording the podcast, people have met each other. People have networked. People, like, that's what I like to do, innit? I like to exchange ideas with people. That's just me, innit? And what else did I do? I used to be the guy, I'm like, I want to document stuff as well. Like, I want to have like recollection of stuff that we done. So
you've been bringing that camera with you from day, bro. Always with that camera.
Almost like, you know what? Yeah, like, not gonna lie, for me, school was absolutely hilarious.
It was jokes,
and it's
still.
just like, technology wasn't the best that time, but I'm just like, there needs to be a recollection of something that happened that day, because it was just 2 jokes. So I'd have my camera with me. Like, I was a joke man, like complete joke man. Like, I remember. Yes. Was. I'm saying was. Bruv, you know the first day of year 7, yeah? It was so dumb. I was at Stamford Hill train station, yeah?
Yeah.
I was waiting for the train now, and the year 11s, they were in year 11 at the time. They were just laughing at one boy's jack-ups. They just snapped it. It was so jokes. They were like, jack-ups. I was laughing. Yo, man, I still have my camera with me from now on. But obviously now that you're older and you mature, like you just want to like document stuff because like this is a moment right here, innit? And it needs to be documented.
Word.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what kind of like what I'm into now. So I'm like, all right, cool. We can document me and you exchanging ideas and just reasoning. You get what I'm saying?
That's sick still, man. That's sick. It's sick that you're on that. And slightly, I feel like everyone could even be on that, but even if not on that level, but to come with documenting things. Right now, I'm on a thing where I invest more in experiences than things, bro. Yeah. I'm not really into having things anymore. I've kind of been on I won't say I'm a minimalist, but I'm exploring minimalism a lot, bro.
You know what? When I next move house, which I probably will do in the next year, fingers crossed, I'm definitely doing the minimalist design for my bedroom still. It looks hard.
Bro, I'm gonna send you one documentary about homes in Japan, and you'll see like minimalism at its finest. Like those people know how to economize, and they make use of everything. Nah, it's crazy. I'm gonna send you this documentary. It's sick still.
Yeah. Even my guy, you remember Fanan?
The name rings a bell, but I'm not gonna say I do see the face in my head.
Obviously you went Ignatius as well. He sent me one book about minimalism. I'm due to read it still, but it's funny how things just come full circle. Like I was literally yesterday, no lie, yesterday I was literally looking on Google saying minimalist bedroom designs.
Okay.
And today we've come and we're talking about minimalism. Like it's just mad like that.
You know, last year, it's funny you say that. You know, I did a mad thing last year. My mum thought I was crazy, but I was just on it. Like, I dashed out bare clothes and I got rid of my bed. Like, I got kind of gassed with Japanese culture and like sleeping on a futon and that. I got rid of my bed and I literally just slept on a little mattress in the corner. But it was kind of cool, man. People thought like, why did you do it? I can't really tell you why. I don't know. I just did it, but I actually rather enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed having the space. Like I freed up bare space. I kind of turned my room into a little gym, and I felt less cluttered. I like not being so cluttered, man. And you can feel it in your body as well. It affects. Yeah, it's freeing. It's freeing.
You know what's funny? Even one of my old friends that I used to see when I was at uni. I went to her house, and I'm like, her bed is mad low. Her bed was mad low. I'm thinking, bruv, like, what's going on? And I just clocked it was a minimalist design, like, bed. Like, it was crazy. The bedroom was sick. I was like, yo. And obviously, she's Asian as well. So I think it's within their culture to be minimalist, innit? Nah, explore minimalism if you're into that sort of stuff.
And clean your room. Absolutely. Clean your room. When your room's all dirty and that. Yo, you'd be surprised how it affects you, yo. It's not a joke. Like, it affects you. I'm telling you, man, when there's just clutter everywhere, seriously, clean your room. You'll feel better. And also, it goes back to what we said earlier about having routines. Make your bed in the morning. Make a habit. Don't go out your house and make your bed first thing in the morning. Jordan Peterson, that psychologist and professor, Jordan Peterson spoke about this. Make your bed in the morning. Bro, it may not seem that deep, but you have to constantly give yourself little wins, and that's the first achievement of the day. That's the first thing that you've already achieved something of the day, and then from there, this is the key actually with goal setting. Set yourself little small things. We're always thinking of the big things we want to achieve, bro. Your house is not even in order yet. How can you talk about changing the world when your own house is not even in order? You understand? Get your own house in order first, and then we can talk about the bigger picture and changing the world and all of that. So yeah, clean your room.
And just to touch on that, even when I was going through my period of like self-reflection or whatever, and talking about like goal setting, I even said to myself, like, the goals that I want to achieve, I have to get myself in order mentally before I can talk about achieving goals that are outside of me. Getting yourself in order is a big fact and it's super important. And it's like everyone has goals that they want to achieve, but their temple is not in order.
Mm.
You need to sort out the temple before you can talk about what
Mm.
I'm gonna do outside. Absolutely. And go on.
No, go on. Finish your train of
No,
thought.
I was gonna talk onto a new subject, but if you have something else,
Okay, yeah. Before you go into a new subject, oh, sorry, man. I pulled a blank there. Apologies. Never mind. But no, oh yeah, it came back to me. There's something you mentioned I quickly wanted to touch on because this was pretty cool and it put a smile on my face when you said it. When you was talking about bringing people together and having an open mind and documenting experiences and things, and then it brought me to my thought where I said I invest more in experiences than things now. So for you who don't know, I'm so into traveling right now, man. So I lived in China last year, and that was one of the best experiences of my life. Doesn't mean it was always good. There were certain times it pissed me off, but it was one of the best experiences of my life, and it opened my mind. I met so many different people from all walks of life, not just Chinese, all different countries. And yeah, I thought I was an open-minded person, but that made me an open-minded person. So I thought that was just cool when you said that. I'm on that wave now, being more open-minded, having experiences, man, invest in experiences, because when your life is done, you can't take all these things with you. What you're left with is just your memories while you still have your mind and sanity. Yeah. What you have is your memories, bro.
Absolutely.
Travel.
Yes, memories don't live like people do, so just create memories all the time. And I think, you know what, now that you talk about memories, yeah, I think that's one thing that was in my mind subconsciously from when I was when I was proper young, like I always wanted to be memorable in it, subconsciously in it. So I think I would do certain stuff, and it's like I would do certain things, and people would question them and be like, "Why is this guy doing this? Why is this guy doing this?" But everyone has a certain memory of me, whether it's good or whether it's bad. But at least you have a memory of me. I don't want to be that someone that you just encountered and just forgot. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny, when you said you wanted to be memorable, I had the exact same feeling. Like, I wanted to be remembered. I wanted my name to be remembered. And I used to do acting, if people didn't know. I used to do acting. Was doing quite well with it, actually. I'd done a lot of theatre. Done my first movie before I went to university, and a lot of people ask me, like, why don't you get back into it? Why don't you get back into acting? And I can't speak for everybody. This is just me personally. Some people, that's their calling, that's their dream, and that's what you should pursue if that's your calling in life. But for me personally, I realized that in retrospect, I realized my motivations for getting into acting wasn't really the purest. For me, I thought it was love of the craft. I did love it, but I realized more so I was trying to fill a void within myself. That's one thing I realized. I was trying to fill a void within myself. And acting, I wanted the recognition. I wanted the fame. I won't cap. I did.
No, you can be real about
yeah,
it.
I'm gonna be, bro. I don't care to say the things that are not the most positive about myself, because it made me the guy I am today, which I'm very happy with.
You're not alone as well, bruv. You're not
Get
the
me?
only person.
So I realized that, yeah, man, like, my motivations wasn't the purest. And when I really began to love myself, love who I am, who I'm being, who I'm becoming, and when I realized who Shamari is, I didn't know who Shamari is. I was just playing characters, playing roles. I felt like I was always playing a character in life, not just in acting, but in life. I'm always playing a character. And when I realized who I was, I didn't want to go back to being an actor. I didn't want to play roles anymore. So for me, this is just me personally. Like, it's not a bad profession. This is me personally. I realized I didn't have the right motivations for staying in it. I found my true calling in martial arts, among other things. Yeah.
Nah, that's good, man. That's good. And we're gonna change topic quickly.
Cool.
We're gonna talk about mental health. So for those who are not aware, a young under 17 footballer, Jeremy Whiston, I believe, he got released from Man City and he committed suicide. Rest in peace to him, and condolences to him and his family. And I just wanted to talk about, it sparked in my mind, like, mental health. It needs to be spoken about more. Like, what do you think in regards to mental health? What can be done? How do we go about No, to be fair, I'll just say what my perspective was on it. I said,
Okay.
like, I was thinking he put a lot of pressure on himself to achieve that goal. He probably wanted to be a professional footballer. Yeah, I'm assuming. And when he got released, his world literally came crushing down. And I'm thinking, this guy put so much pressure on himself, you know, at 17. Like, even if football is not your calling, or they didn't believe you were good enough, there was so much more that he could have achieved. Am I looking at it wrong?
I don't think anyone can tell you you're looking at it wrong. This is your perspective, what you see on it. Obviously, we can't say it as facts because we don't know him personally. Yeah. But looking on the outside, no, I don't believe you can say it's wrong. With what you're saying about putting so much pressure on himself, that's actually something I can relate to fully. Like when I was talking about acting, I remember going to auditions, and if I didn't get the job, feeling bummed out, crushed. I remember one time I auditioned for a role. It was the first time I got the chance to audition for a Hollywood TV show. Gassed. I'm like, damn, is this how sick I am? Like, I'm getting called up for Hollywood now. Yeah. Done it. I made it to the final two. It was me and one other don. The other don got it. But I walked out that audition room crying, but I was like, fuck it, like, what's it all worth? Like, that don now is the guy who played the leader of the Unsullied in Game of Thrones, that black don I can't remember his name, but if you watch Game of Thrones, the guy who plays the leader of the Unsullied army, that's the actor I'm talking about. It was me and him in the final two for this specific TV show. Shout out to him though, he's doing his thing. He's got a great career. It was his calling. Like I said, acting was not my calling. But to go back to the point, put so much pressure on myself, and this comes back to what we was talking about earlier, bro. Attachments cause suffering. It's as simple as that. Attachments cause suffering. But then again, like when we let's get philosophical about it. Let's talk about it. So even with that also you can look at it on another side, and this is a question I struggled with, bro. Like I'm like, okay, I know that attachments cause suffering, but then should I not have goals? Should I not have things that I want to achieve? There are things I want. I can't lie. There are things in life I want. Surely it cannot be bad to have ambition and to want things. It can't be. So I struggled with this concept a lot, and I was talking to one of my boys about it, and he was like, nah, bro. And then it comes back to what we were saying before in terms of balance, bro. And one thing me and my boy, when we was elaborating on this, we came to the conclusion that be stubborn with the goal, but be flexible in how you get there. Be stubborn with the goal. Let me just reiterate that. Be stubborn with the goal, but be flexible in how you get there. Like you could have a goal, and sometimes your goal, you don't even know, is actually something underneath that you want. Like, okay, outside of martial arts, people don't know I'm working on business right now. I want to have a real estate empire for myself. I'm getting into property. I set up my property company this year. So I could say my goal is, okay, to have a real estate empire, real estate business. Okay. But what's beyond that is freedom. I want freedom of finances. I want freedom of time. I just want to be comfortable. I want to own my time. I want to be able to do whatever I want. I want stability. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes there's even things beyond the goals that we set. So I believe in and to say that, for the last few months, I've been running around trying to strike real estate deals. I've been trying to strike real estate deals for the last few months. I've been getting rejected and turned down non-stop, left, right, and center. You understand? But knowing what I know now, it's cool. I'm not gonna stop. Like, it's cool. It's coming. Like, I already know that. So, guys, like, when it comes to like suffering, be stubborn with your goals. So I realize it's okay to want things, but be flexible in the approach. All roads lead to Rome, as they say. Just because it didn't happen this way doesn't mean like it won't happen. You understand? And not everything happens now. It doesn't work like that. And sometimes you're putting blocks on yourself. Like with my man, I'm sorry that he felt the need to take his own life. That's a tragic thing. But nobody had these conversations with him. And that guy just needed to know that, you know what, bro, like, everything you need is already inside of you, bro. You don't need to look for external things. You don't need no magic pill, a magic book, motivation. Everything is inside of you. I study martial arts. The greatest swordsman in the world, Miyamoto Musashi, in his book, The Book of Five Rings, he says everything you need is already within. Don't look at outside sources. Everything you already need is already within.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that message is also preached in a book that I'm reading right now called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And it basically, the message behind that book is that how all the questions that you have the answers within your subconscious mind, and there's certain affirmations that you make, which is the way in which you reach your subconscious mind. Nice. It's proper. It's proper to delve into your mind properly, for real.
You have to take care of your mental health, especially now in this generation we live in. We live in a digital world right now, and it's only gonna get more and more digitalized. I mean, look at this coronavirus thing, the situation we're living in, bro. I go around, everything is cashless, bro. Like, people are not taking my cash. It's very hard to find somewhere where I can use cash. Cash is dead. Everyone's like, cash is king. Nah, it's dead. People, my cash is worthless. You get me? My cash is worthless, bro. Like, we live in a society as well with social media, bro, where everywhere you turn, this society is constantly making you feel like you're worthless, like you're a piece of shit. If you ain't got these garms, if you ain't got this car, if you ain't got this, Sometimes even with information, oh, what, you don't know this? You don't know that? You don't know, like, no, I don't. Like, bro, you need to limit your input. Limit your input, like.
That's a chapter from Stillness is the key, by the way.
Word, you know what, bruv, I got it saved right here. Because this is while we're on this topic of mental health, bro, can I quickly just read this insert real quick?
Go ahead, bro.
A wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. When you're flooding sometimes, like, bro, to put it simply, like, how much time do we waste just scrolling through the gram? Like, you're scrolling through and next thing you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, time goes by, bro. And it's not just the gram, with anything, bro. And like, you don't need to know everything, bro. And you need, in the Bible says garrison your heart, garrison your mind. What's a garrison? Like a military formation, like the military. So you have to protect that, shield that. And it's so true. Garrison your heart, garrison your mind. Be very strict with that. Be strict with what you allow to filter within your mind, because these things do affect you. If you think like advertising, all these things, you're so strong, nah, it's bullshit, bro. Everything affects you. Your environment affects you. Be careful what you filter through you. And yeah, brother, it affects your mental health, brother. It affects your mental health so much. So much. Be careful what you expose yourself to. You know what's crazy? Like, you know how them aunties in church, like, when you're listening to music, they're like, hey, satanic, it's the devil. Da, da. Slightly though, when you really deep it, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm saying there's an element of truth to it. Like when you listen to music and that, bro, I'm not even trying to sound crazy. People might get at me for this one, but there's spells, bro. There's spells. Nah, and the reason why, hold on, let me finish, let me land. The reason why I say that is because, bro, when you listen to certain music, it alters your mood, bro. It affects the way you feel. It rises up certain emotions in you, bro. So it's not just music, it's everything. Filter.
You know what? It's even funny because even at uni, I done philosophy in it, and obviously we studied Plato in it, and it said the philosopher kings, who are like the highest rulers of society, they can't listen to music in it.
Can't.
Yes, and they shouldn't listen to music in it. Okay. Because with music they can be corrupted in it. And it's just funny you said that, how music casts spells, because it can corrupt your mind into doing whatever. But that's another story.
Disclaimer, I'm not saying don't listen to music. I'm just saying in general, just be careful of what you filter through. And to go back to the suicide thing, I'm not going to mention names. I have a close friend of mine that's been actively trying to end his own life. Okay. And the footballer, I don't know him personally, but I'm going to talk on this subject because I have a friend who's in this situation and I have access to him. So I have more of an insight in where his mind at. So it could be similar to that young man also. And I find certain things keep coming up. My friend has no purpose. He has no purpose. He has nothing he's aiming for. He just feels like life is worthless. And also, he went through traumatic events in his childhood. Traumatic events from growing up in ends, not having the best parents, seeing abuse in his childhood. Myself, I witnessed violence, bruv, daily as a child. Messed up my psyche, and it's only in retrospect I can realize this, but I can see this and the things I didn't realize how it was affecting me until I grow up and just start having relationships of my own. Like, I'll put it out there, I've never been violent towards a woman, but I started seeing how I could be like emotionally and mentally abusive, you get me? And it weren't until one relationship I had in university, I was so in love with this girl. And I realized I'm literally emanating what I grew up with. You get me? And this is where parents, you need to be careful what you expose your children to. You have to be so careful because you're doing some serious damage and you don't even know. And the thing is, unfortunately, many of us, our parents didn't know better, innit? And I'm not on the blame thing. It is what it is. A lot of us are just unfortunate, didn't have the greatest of parents, but you have to take responsibility, man. I'm all about taking responsibility. My thing is, no matter what happens to you in life, it's your fault. It's your fault. Not to say certain things aren't your fault, but what I mean by that is there is freedom in taking responsibility in everything in your life. You have to own it. I could be here and be, growing up, and when I was going through these traumas, especially my teenage years, I had a victim mentality. Looking back, and I'm like, okay, this and this happened to me, so I'm like this. I felt like the world owed me something. But the moment I took responsibility for my life, responsibility for my own education, unlearning and relearning, for my spirituality, you understand? It was freeing. I managed to free myself. So with my boy who's committing suicide, or not committing suicide, who's contemplating it, I realized he has no purpose and he's still suffering from the things that happened to him. He hasn't learned to detach from that and realizing that those things are not you. Your past is not you, but people are they attach a label to themselves. You are not the sum of your trauma. You are not the sum of things that happened to you. You are not your job. You are not your swag. You are not your Dior. You are not none of this bullshit. You understand? Detach yourself from these labels. You are not these things. And only then you can have freedom. And discovering yourself, it takes discipline. And we're going to wrap up, but I just want to quickly say, discipline is freedom.
I agree.
Discipline is freedom. We live in a society that everyone's trying to do whatever they want. Oh, YOLO, whatever. Nah, bro. That's not freedom, bro, because you become a slave. You become a slave to your desires. You understand? But in discipline, bro, you understand what real freedom is, bro. You become the best version of yourself, bro. So don't become a slave to your desires, man. Protect yourself, protect your mental health, protect your input. Be careful what you allow to filter through your mind, and take care of your environment. Your environment is key. Watch who is around you. You get me? Sometimes you have to separate yourself and just be happy, man. Stay blessed, man. Stay blessed.
And that is going to wrap up a matter of mindset. Shamari, that was a lovely episode, man.
Love, bro.
Tell them where they can find you on the socials.
All right, I'm going to be honest, man. I'm not crazy active on socials, but you can find me show_Ronin, SHO_Ronin. If you don't know, a Ronin is a samurai without a master. They travel the world looking for work, using their sword, and I feel like that. I'm a traveler. I love martial arts. I'm a samurai without a master. I don't want to be a slave to the corporate world. I used to work 9 to 5 doing accounting. It's not me. I'm a traveler. I'm a free spirit. I'm a wanderer. Show_Ronin. Bless.
And that's going to wrap up a matter of mindset. Peace and love.